Hello everyone. Welcome to the session 8 of Theory of Computation or Formal Languages and Automata Theory. So in this session, we are going to discuss how to convert the given NFA into the DFA. Okay. So in the previous session, we have seen how to convert the NFA with epsilon into the NFA without epsilon moves. And we have seen the introductory part related to the conversion of NFA to the DFA. Okay. So in today's session, we are going to discuss this concept with a one example. So first thing, we have seen this concept in the previous class that for every NFA there exists an equivalent DFA that accepts the same language. Okay. So the language which is accepted by NFA, the same language can also be accepted by a DFA. Okay. So when we can say that DFA and NFA are equivalent, so whenever a language is accepted by NFA, if the same language is accepted by the DFA, then we can say that both DFA and NFA are equivalent. Okay. And one more point here is that for every NFA, there exists an equivalent DFA that accepts the same language. Okay. So if you consider the point number 2 here, every language that can be described by NFA can also be described by the DFA. Okay. So here we are going to see how to convert this given NFA into an equivalent DFA. Okay. And we have seen that while converting that NFA into the DFA, the number of states will get increased, right? So if you consider the point number 3, if NFA has n states, then its equivalent DFA can have at most 2 power n states. Okay, so this is the one of the most important points here. So this is the one of the questions that may be asked in the GATE examination. And next one, if NFA has n states, then its equivalent minimized DFA can have at most 2 n states. Okay, so 2 n states. So here, whenever you convert NFA into the DFA, the number of states will get increased, right? So we can also minimize the number of states in a DFA by using one minimization algorithm that we will discuss in the next session. So here, in this point number 4, we are considering that NFA which is having n states, then its equivalent minimized DFA can have 2 n states. Okay. So when we perform the minimization algorithm on the DFA, then the 2 n states will be get reduced to 2 n states. Okay. So exponential states are going to reduced by 2 n states. Okay. So we will discuss this concept, the minimization of DFA, in the next session. Okay. And next one, to convert NFA into the DFA, we use this algorithm called subset construction algorithm. Okay. So here we are going to use the algorithm called as subset construction algorithm. So we have seen this algorithm in the previous session. So just have a look on this algorithm. The subset construction algorithm starts from an NFA. So in the problem, you will be given with an NFA. So that must be converted into the DFA. Okay. So here we are representing NFA as capital N is equal to, by using the 5 tuples Qn, that is nothing but set of states in NFA n. N indicates NFA. Sigma is an alphabet set. Delta n is nothing but transition function in the NFA. Q0 is the initial state and Fn is the set of final states in the NFA. So the given problem NFA is mathematically expressed as n is equal to Qn sigma delta n Q0 comma Fn, right? So we use this subset construction algorithm to produce its equivalent DFA, which can be mathematically expressed as D is equal to QD. QD means number, a set of states in the DFA. Sigma is nothing but set of input symbols. Delta D is nothing but the transition function in the DFA. And Q not enclosed in the square bracket. Q not enclosed in the square bracket is called as starting state in the DFA, right? So in the previous session I mentioned that in the DFA we represent the states by enclosing them in a square bracket, right? So why we are enclosing them in a square bracket means, in order to distinguish the state present in the DFA with the state in the NFA. So here we are using this square bracket, right? In order to distinguish the state in the NFA with the state in the DFA, we are going to use this square brackets. Okay, we are going to enclose the states in a square bracket in DFA, right? And next one, FD is nothing but set of final states in the DFA. Okay, so these are the subscripts, that is N we are using to represent it with respect to the NFA, and QD we are using to relate it with the DFA. Okay, so whenever you encounter this D subscript, you should assume it as a DFA, and whenever you encounter a subscript N, you have to assume like it as a NFA. Okay, now, so we can say that the NFA N and DFA D are equivalent if and only if L of D is equal to L of N. That means language accepted by the DFA is equal to the language accepted by the NFA. Okay. So whenever this condition satisfies, then only we could say that the DFA and NFA are equivalent. Okay. Now here you could see the input alphabet of two automatas are same. Okay. So when you convert the NFA into the DFA, the input set, that is alphabet set sigma, will not change. Okay, it will remain same. Okay, then here just we are making a change. Q naught is the starting state in the NFA, so that same state will be the starting state in the DFA. But in order to distinguish the Q naught in the DFA, we are enclosing it in a square bracket. So as I mentioned that the states in the DFA here are enclosed in a square bracket. So what is the necessity here? One necessity is that we can able to distinguish the state in the NFA from the state in the DFA. Okay, so that is the reason we are enclosing the state in a square bracket in case of DFA. Okay, next QD. So set of states in the DFA is equal to 2 power Qn. Okay, 2 power Qn. So as we considered the synopsis point that if NFA is having n state, then its equivalent DFA can have at most 2 power n states, right? So if Qn is the set of states that we are having in the NFA, then DFA can have 2 power Qn. Okay, so 2 power Qn states. Okay, then next one. Next one, we are having FD. FD is nothing but set of all states of QD that contains at least one of the final states of Fn. Okay, so FD indicates the set of final states in the DFA. So we will see this statement. I will justify this statement with an example. So just consider that FD is nothing but set of final states in the DFA. Okay, now delta D is nothing but the transition function in the DFA. So here, see here, delta D of S comma A. So S is nothing but, you could say it is something like a state, okay, in the DFA, comma A. A is nothing but the input symbol, right? Is equal to union of P in S such that delta of N of P comma A. Okay. So union of P in S such that delta N of P comma A. So this is the transition function that we are writing in the case of DFA. Okay. So let us understand why we are writing like this. So basically in the NFA, we may have the multiple transitions on an input symbol, right? So if you consider in NFA, for example in Q naught, on input symbol A, you may have the multiple transitions like this. That means Q1. One of the transition is going towards Q1 and another transition is going towards Q2. Let me tell. Okay. Okay, right. So basically in the NFA, what will happen? From Q naught on input symbol A, we may go to the state Q1 or Q2, right? So because we are having the multiple transitions on A. But in the DFA, we don't have the multiple transition, right? So instead of considering these two states separately, we consider these two states as a single state like this. So Q1, Q2 enclosed in a bracket. So what it means? What it means, Q1, Q2, since they are enclosed in a square bracket, we can say that this is the state in the DFA, right? So since we don't have the multiple transitions in the DFA, so what we are doing here is we are merging the states, right? So Q1, Q2 will be merged as a single state, and we are enclosing it in a square bracket, so that we are referring this Q1, Q2 as a single state in the DFA. Okay, so how do we specify the transition for these states in the DFA, right? So how do we write delta D of S? So what is S here in this case? It is nothing but Q1, Q2. Okay, so Q1 comma Q1, Q2. So Q1, Q2 enclosed in a square bracket will be our S, comma A. A is nothing but input symbol, right? So A is nothing but input symbol. So we are writing uh, delta D of Q1, Q2 enclosed in a square bracket means Q1, Q2 as a single state in the DFA, comma A, right? So how do we find out the transition for this state in the DFA? So basically, in order to find out the transition for this state, so what is the reference for us? NFA is the reference. So we have to go to the NFA and we have to perform the transition on individual state and then perform the union between these two, right? So let me repeat once again. So here we are calculating the transition function for a state Q1, Q2. So Q1, Q2 is a single state in the DFA, right? So how do we find out the transition for this particular state? So to find out the transition for this state, the reference that we are having is NFA, right? So first go to the NFA, then perform the transition between these two states and then union them. Okay, so see here how we are writing union of P in S. So what is P in S? Each state in the DFS state, right? So in this Q1, Q2, we are having the two states, right? So Q1 is one state and Q2 is another state. So P in S means we are having Q1 in S. So what we will do, Q1 is a separate state in the NFA. So we will identify the transition in NFA from Q1 on input symbol A. So how do we write delta N? Delta N means transition function in NFA, that is delta N of P. What is P here? Q1. Q1 comma A. Comma A. Okay. Okay. Then union. So that must be union. Union with delta N of Q2 comma A. Okay. Q2 comma A. So in this fashion, we calculate the transition function for a state in the DFA, right? So to compute delta D of S comma A, here I have written the point. We look at all the states P in S. So what we have to do, we have to consider all the states P in S. Okay, and see what states in N goes from P on input A and take union of all those states. Okay, so this is the statement which is justifying the point which I explained now. Okay, so this is the statement which is justifying the explanation which I have given, right? So here you could see the example here, delta D of Q0 Q1 comma A. So basically we have written this Q0 Q1 in a square bracket means we are referring the state in the DFA, right? And another point is that these two are the single state, not a individual states in the DFA. So Q0, Q1 means it is enclosed in square bracket means they are written as a single state and A is the input symbol. Then what we have to do, for each state we have to go to the NFA and perform the transition on input symbol A, right? So go to the NFA, that is delta N, check out the transition on Q0 on input symbol A, okay, and union it with the transition from Q1 on A. So union of delta N Q1 comma A. So this is the way in which we find out the transition function in the DFA. That means we will find out the transition for a state in the DFA. Okay. So just understand this concept. This is very much important here. Okay, I hope you understood this one. Next. So the same thing I am representing here in a mathematical way. The transition function delta D is defined by delta D of Q1 comma Q2 so on Qk comma A. So as I mentioned that in the square bracket you may have the multiple states written in that, but these states are collectively considered as one state in the DFA. They are not separate states. They are considered as a single state, right? is the union over I is equal to 1 to k of delta n of qi comma a. Okay, so what we need to do, we have to take the union. Okay, so how do we take the union? First delta n of what is the first state that we are having? Q1. So Q1 comma a input. Okay, next union delta n of okay Q2 comma a union delta n of Q3 comma a. Okay, so like this we can write the transition function. Okay, at the last, how do you write? So on delta n of qk comma a. Okay, okay, so this will give the delta d is equal to. Okay. So this is how do we write? So delta d of q1 comma so on qk comma a is the union over all I is equal to 1 to k of delta n of qi comma a. Okay, so you have to perform the transition. We have to find out the transition from NFA from state q q1 or q2 or qk on input symbol a. So if we are having multiple states, we have to union all of them. Okay. Right. So just try to practice this problem here. Convert the NFA into equivalent DFA. Right. So this is the NFA. Okay. So how do we find that it is an NFA? Because from Q0 on 0, we are having the multiple transitions. Okay. And similarly from Q1 on 1, we are having the multiple transitions. So whenever we see the multiple transitions on a particular input symbol from a state, then we can say that it is a NFA, right? So here, the main objective here is we need to convert this NFA into the DFA. Okay. So as I mentioned that we are representing the DFA here as D. Okay, let me call it as D. Okay. So by using the 5 tuples QD is a set of states. Okay. Then we are having alphabet set sigma. Okay. Then transition function delta D Q naught. So here we are enclosing the state in the square bracket in the DFA. So Q naught must be enclosed in the square bracket, comma FD. FD is nothing but set of final states in the DFA. Okay. So this is how we are representing the DFA mathematically in a quintuple notation. Okay. So here QD we will get whenever we perform this subset construction algorithm. Okay, so just I have written the basic tuples here. QD is equal to 5 comma Q naught Q1 Q naught Q1. Okay, these are the set of subsets. Okay, so basically what will happen as we are calling this algorithm as a subset construction algorithm. So what we have to do is that from NFA by considering the set of states that is Qn, we can able to generate the set of subsets. Okay, so that set of subsets may become the QD. Okay, so QD. So if we consider what is the set of states here in NFA, what are the set of states in the NFA? Qn is equal to okay. So what is Q of n in the NFA? It is nothing but we are having two states. One is the Q naught, next one is Q1. Okay. Then what are the possible subset for this set? What are the possible subset for this set? The possible subset is nothing but 5. 5 is the subset. Then Q naught is one subset. then Q1 is another subset, then Q0, Q1 here. So it is another subset. Okay. So we are writing the set of subsets. Okay, and we are calling it as QD. That means from the NFA, we are going to construct the set of subsets, and that set of subsets would be the set of states in the DFA. So hence the algorithm name is subset construction algorithm. So what we are doing, we are constructing the subset, okay, from the NFA, set of subsets from the NFA, and that set of subsets will become the QD. Okay, that means the set of states in the DFA. Okay. Next Q0, Q0 is the starting state in the NFA, and the same state will be the starting state in the DFA. So just to distinguish it with the NFA, we are enclosing that Q0 into the square bracket. Okay. Then define the transition on 0, 1 on each state, right? So in the DFA, what we need to do is we have to explore the states and we have to specify the transitions from each state on input symbol 0, 1. Okay. So in diagram, we are having the two input symbols 0, 1. So the sigma in this case is sigma is equal to, or alphabet set is equal to 0, 1 only. Okay. So 0, 1. So for each state, we have to specify the transition on 0, 1. Okay. Next, FD is nothing but set of final states. Okay. So we will get these values once we complete this subset construction algorithm. So let us move on this subset construction algorithm, right? So first thing, the moment when we find out the starting state in the DFA, what is the starting state in the DFA? Q0. Okay. So enclosed in a square bracket, right? So this is the starting state in the DFA. So from this starting state, we need to specify the transition. Okay. So what are the input symbols in the given diagram? 0 and 1. So we need to specify the transition from Q0 in DFA on 0. Okay, on 0. And we need to specify the transition on 1. Transition on 1. So let us move on. So delta D of Q0 comma 0, right? So what we are doing, we are finding out the transition from Q0 on 0 in DFA, right? So how do we write? Since we have not constructed the DFA yet, the reference for the applying the transition is NFA. So what we need to do, we have to go to the NFA, that is delta N, and specify the transition from Q0 on 0. So delta N of Q0 comma 0. So delta N of Q0 comma 0 means there are two transitions. One is on Q0 and another one is Q1. So since these are the two separate states in the NFA, but in the DFA, we have to represent it as a single state. So how do we represent them as a single state means just enclose them in a square bracket. So Q0 comma Q1 enclose them in a square bracket, right? So in this fashion, we specified the transition from Q0 on 0, right? Next, we have to specify the transition from Q0 on 1. So delta D of Q0 comma 1 is equal to, go to the NFA in state Q0, identify the transition on 1. So Q0 on 1, where it is going? Q1. So enclose that Q1 into the square bracket, right? So by doing this, we could able to find out the transition from Q0 on input symbol 0 and 1. Okay. So up to this part, we have finished. Okay. Next. So after performing this transition, identify the new states here. So what are the new states that we are having? Q0, Q1 is one new state and Q1 is another new state, right? So for these new states, we have to specify the transition. Okay. So we are having the two new states here. One is Q0, Q1 and another one is Q1. So we need to calculate the transition for these states. Okay. So select any one of the new states here and calculate the transition, right? So here I have selected the Q1. So now calculate the transition for Q1. So delta D of Q1 comma 0. So in order to calculate the transition for Q1 on 0, go to the NFA. So delta N of Q1 comma 0. So Q1 comma 0, where it is going? It is self. So Q1, the result is Q1. So enclose that result in a square bracket. Okay. So this one we did. Next, Q1 on 1. So delta D of Q1 on 1. So go to the NFA, calculate delta N of Q1 comma 1. So Q1 comma 1 means it is having multiple transition. One is the self and another one is going to Q0. So write down Q0, Q1, enclose them in a square bracket. Okay. So we have specified the transition for this new state Q1, right? So this part we have finished. The next one of the new states is Q0, Q1, for which we need to specify the transition, right? So go to that part. Okay. So Q0, Q1, select Q0, Q1 and specify the transition on them. So delta D of Q0, Q1, comma 0. So how do we write it? Go to the NFA. So since we are having two states here, we have to perform the transition on each state individually by considering the NFA. So delta N of Q0 on 0 union delta N of Q1 on 0. Okay. So what is the result? Q1, Q0 on 0 means Q0 itself and Q1 on 0 means it is Q1 itself. So Q0 union Q1. So merge them as a single state. So Q0 Q1 as a single state. Okay. So in this fashion we specified the transition on 0. Then we have to specify the transition on 1. So delta D of Q0 Q1 comma 1. So we write delta N of Q0 comma 1 union delta N of Q1 comma 1. Okay. So what is the result for this Q0 on 1? We are having the transition Q0 on 1 means we are having the transition Q0. Okay. Sorry, Q1. Q0 and Q1. So Q0, Q1 union Q1 on 1. Q1 on 1 means we are having multiple transitions here. So one is going to Q0 and another one is going to Q1. So write down Q0, Q1. And then Q0, Q1 union Q0, Q1 means it is Q0, Q1 only. Enclose that in a square bracket, right? So check out any new states that you got. So one of the state is Q0, Q1, which we have already considered for the transition. And next one is Q0, Q1. Again, the transition that we have already computed for these states. Okay. So if you get any new state, then again you have to specify the transition from that state on every input symbol in the DFA, right? So here we didn't get any new state. So here we could say the computation of this subset construction is completed. So what are the states that you got here? One is the Q0, another one is Q1, and another one is Q0, Q1. So three states that we got here totally. So write down those states Q0, Q1, Q0, Q0, Q1, and Q1, right? So by seeing these transition functions, apply the transitions here. So you will get this diagram. Okay. Now the final states. So what is the final states in the NFA? Q0, right? So in the given NFA, the final state is Q0, right? So in the DFA, wherever you are having the Q0 as a state, mark it as a final state. I'm repeating once again. In the NFA, the final state is Q0, right? So in the DFA, wherever you see the Q0 or Q0 as a member in a state in the DFA, mark it as a final state. Okay. So here you could see Q0 will become a final state in the DFA. And next one, Q0, Q1. In this state, Q0, Q1, in this state, we are having Q0 as a member. So you have to mark it as a final state. Okay. So two final states will be there in the DFA. See here, Q0 will be the final state. And next one is Q0, Q1 will be the final state. Why? Because this Q0 is the final state in the NFA and this Q0 is the member in the DFA state, right? So wherever you find the Q0, you have to mark it as a final state. Okay. So that is the reason we got this Q0 and Q0 Q1 as a final state. Okay. So let us get back to the point here. FD. There I have mentioned the FD as set of Q0 comma Q0 comma Q1. Okay. So two states will be the final states. Okay. So when we convert this NFA into the DFA, what will happen? The number of states will increase. Okay, number of states will increase, and also the final states may also get changed, right? So what are the changes that may happen? The changes may happen in the set of states, then the transition function, of course, and next one is the set of final states. Okay, so this is also one of the most important questions in the gate examination point of view. So this is how we can construct the DFA equivalent to the NFA. Okay. Next, method 2. So there is also a second method to convert the given NFA into the DFA. Okay. So this method is pretty easy. So just you need to observe the algorithm here first. So in this method, what we will do, consider start state of NFA and make it as start state of DFA. Okay. So Q naught, if it is a starting state in the NFA, then mark that Q naught as a starting state in the DFA. So how we are distinguishing the state in the DFA from NFA? So just we are enclosing the state in the square bracket, right? Next, mark Q naught as a unfinished. So what we have to do is that initially we select the starting state, and then we will consider that start state as a unfinished, right? So here what we have to do is that we have to construct the table. So directly here we can able to construct the table. So what is that table that we are constructing? It is the transition table of DFA. Okay, so what we will do, initially we will start with the Q naught. We will start with the Q naught in the DFA, and we'll mark it as unfinished. So unfinished, we have to mark it as unfinished. So what is unfinished means? So this state is unfinished. Why? Because we have not specified the transitions in the transition table, right? So we haven't specified any transitions from Q naught on 0 and 1. So that's why it is unfinished, right? So next step what we have to do is that in step number 3, we have to identify the transition from Q naught on 0 and Q naught on 1. Okay, how do we identify the transition for this Q naught on 0 and Q naught on 1 in DFA? So we have to refer the NFA, right? So by seeing the NFA, we can identify. So by seeing the NFA, we can identify this. So what is the transition on 0? Transition Q naught on 0. We are having Q naught Q1, right? So here we will write Q naught Q1. Okay. Okay, done. Next, Q naught on 1. Q naught on 1 means it is going to Q1 only, right? So Q1, right? So done. So the moment when we enter the transition for state Q naught, it will become finished. It will become finished. Okay. Now, so here you have to identify the state for which we haven't specified the transition, right? So what are the states for we didn't specify the transition yet? One is Q naught Q1. We haven't specified any transition, and also for the Q1 we haven't specified any transition, right? So the select any one of these states and mark it as unfinished. That is Q naught Q1. Okay. So why it is unfinished? Because we haven't specified any transition on 0 and 1. So try to find out the transition for Q naught Q1 on 0 and 1. Okay. So the moment when you specify the transition for this state on 0 and 1, it will become the finished one. Okay. Now we are left with specifying the transition on Q1. So select Q1 and mark it as unfinished. Okay. Then identify the transition from Q1 on 0 and 1. Okay. So in this fashion, you have to construct the state transition table, right? So till you get any, till this process is repeated till we get the new states. Okay. So as long as you are getting the new states, you have to repeat this process. So once you don't get any new state, then you have to stop the process there. And then after stopping that, we have to identify the final states. Okay. So this is the algorithm, right? Okay. Mark all the states that contains final states from the NFA as a final states of DFA. Okay. So whatever the states in the DFA contains the final state of NFA, mark all those as a final states. Okay. So what are the final states in the DFA? Q naught will be the final state because in NFA Q naught is the final state, right? And also this Q naught Q1 will also be the final state. Why? Because the Q naught is the member of the state. Okay. So this is how we can construct the DFA for the given NFA. Okay. So let us do this problem again with this algorithm. So this is the NFA, right? So the same problem we are considering here. So what we have to do, first we need to identify the starting state. What is the starting state in the DFA? Q naught. So this is the table. See here, this is the table delta D. So what is the first state that we are considering? Q naught. So it is the starting state. So that's why arrow we are specifying here. So Q naught is labeled with an arrow. So mark this Q naught as a unfinished state. Okay. So unfinished means you have to make it as finished. So how do we make it? We have to fill the transition from Q naught on 0 and Q naught on 1, right? So we have to compute the transition from Q naught on 0 and Q naught on 1. So delta D of Q naught comma 0 is equal to identify the transition, use the NFA. So delta N of Q naught comma 0. What you will get? Q naught Q1. So enclosed it in a square bracket, right? Next, delta D of Q naught comma 1. Delta N of Q naught comma 1 means Q1. So we got this Q naught Q1 and we got this as a Q1. Okay. So the moment when we enter those values, it will become the finished. Okay. See, it becomes the finished. Why? Because we have entered these values. Okay. We entered these values, right? Done. Next. So out of these new states, identify the one state and specify the transition for it. Okay. So here we are selecting Q naught Q1 as a unfinished state. So unfinished. So what we have to do, we have to specify the transition for this state on 0 and 1. So just write down delta D of Q naught Q1 comma 0. So these two are the separate states in the NFA, right? So we have to write like this: delta N of Q naught comma 0 union delta N of Q1 comma 0. Okay. What is the result? Q naught union Q1. So Q naught union Q1 means it is Q naught Q1 only. Okay. Next, delta D of Q naught Q1 comma 1. Okay. Identify the transitions by considering the NFA. You will get Q naught Q1, right? So here we got transition from Q naught Q1 on 0 and 1. So when you fill those transitions in the transition table, you marked this Q naught Q1 as finished. Okay. Okay. So here, next unfinished state we have to select. What is the next unfinished state? It is Q1. Okay. Now Q1, it is unfinished. Now you have to specify the transition on 0 comma 1. So delta D of Q1 comma 0 is equal to delta N of Q1 comma 0, that is Q1. Delta D of Q1 comma 1 is equal to delta N of Q1 comma 1, it is Q naught Q1, right? So fill those entries in the Q1, right? So identify any new states for which we have to specify the transition. That is Q naught Q1 we have already specified. Okay, for Q1 we have already specified. Q naught Q1 already specified. For this also already specified. Already specified. So since we didn't encounter any new state, the process of marking this unfinished and finished will stop here, right? So then next one, what we need to do is that we have to mark the final state, right? So what is the final state in the given NFA? Q naught is the final state, right? So wherever you are having the Q naught in the DFA, mark that as a final state. So this will be the final state, okay? And this also be the final state. Why? Because we are having the final state Q naught as a member in the DFA. So the same thing here I have explained. Q naught is the final state in the given NFA. So in DFA also mark Q naught as a final state and also the states which contains Q naught as a member. So we got this is the final state and this is also a final state. From this table construct the transition diagram. Okay? And this will be the DFA equivalent to the given NFA. Okay. So I hope the concept is clear. So in the next class we will discuss about how to minimize the given DFA. Okay. So just practice a few more examples on this conversion from NFA into the DFA. And if you find any difficulties or if you get any queries, just feel free to get in touch with me. If required, I will try to answer this in the next session. Okay. Thank you. Take care of yourself.